Good morning, everyone. Turn this a bit. I need to put some WD-40 on that. But, hope you guys had a fantastic evening and a fantastic night's rest. That was pretty okay. Can't complain. Can't complain. It got nice and cold last night. Though it was a little up and down. But, you know, it's better than constantly fighting sleep. Sorry. Alright. Yeah, so on today's docket, on the docket, we're going to be doing some mapping for the small pop map for the Apoc server. And then we're going to be, we're also going to be doing some stuff for Vanderlin, because I need to get the Briar Wolf set up properly, which was a project I started months ago, and then obviously everything just kind of happened. And my thing I've been learning is how to do proper like code statements. So if then else. Ooh, excuse me. If I can show you what the overall end result I want to go for Briar Wolf, and why we need the if then else statements to begin with. And that is because, well, this works. Yeah, fuck it. It's fan art, but it works for exactly what we need. Bring it over here. Pew! More authoritarian, huh? Sure glad their housing market won't go worse for everyone. I don't see a pattern. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Briar Wolf. Essentially, the if-then statements are going to be like, if wearing a briar thorn crown, then use this head. Elsewise, use the or else use the generic wolf head, right? Then same thing for if they have their briar robes on, then use this other, or else use the generic, right? So that's been part of it, just learning some of these code things. But this is the general vibe. So the briar with its robes on, and then the thorn crown. Oh. Yeah, so that's part of the thing for, that will be for the Vanderlin server. Oh my goodness. Ook was like I should write for the, well, he didn't say should. He heavily insinuated I should write for the lore and canon thing for the current contest going on to add a new area to the game, right? That properly in canon. I was like, I don't know, I'm focusing too heavily on Dendor and the Briars and everything, right? Yeah. Now, the other thing we gotta do, obviously. Oh, I forgot to take the one claw glyph out. So we've got double Yelder Scald. Oh, I still need to shrink the Yelder Scald from the sides, too. Right. Right, so much work to do. So much work to do. Ugh. So, chat, I'm going to give you guys just a small bit from Guardians of Nature. I didn't get too much more written yet, but I wanted to give a start to where the things are obviously going. And then we'll do, I think, a couple little preview chapters for Thorn Denderson Well, again, this is older written work, but it fits in for what the lore for, at least what I want the lore for Dendor to be. Again, Abira proved to an extent, Ook proved to an extent, but I want them to see the full thing and see if like yeah, no, that sounds good, or no, we don't want to go that way, right? Because Dendor is considered a mad god, right? But I framed it more as he's considered mad by everyone, but he's not actually like crazy. His morality, his view is just completely skewed from everyone else. Because he's so focused on nature. Alright. So again, first a little bit from Guardians of Nature that I've started. William laid his head back on the pillow and took a few deep breaths while his eyes looked up at the ceiling, his exposed chest rising and falling as he tried to comport himself into a more steady state. This is when Samantha pulled herself in closer to him and laid her head across his chest, breathing heavily herself. Well, hope I didn't mess up too bad, William managed to say between the breaths. You did fine. It was really nice. Back during the war, I would try and relieve stress this way. Never really worked, so stopped doing it. Hadn't for over a decade. Stop talking. Let me enjoy this. William let out a soft laugh which shook Samantha, and in turn she began to laugh as well. Finally, as the pair of them started to relax and compose themselves, she began to speak up once more. So, you think the ranger is right? It seems more likely. When I was at the diner to get some breakfast, everyone in there was a wolf. Holy shit! How many of them are there? Sorry. Mucus. I had asked, because it felt like a lot, but they said, observation bias. Think about the hundreds of thousands of people in this city, and only about 1 in 1,000, or even 1 in 10,000 are one. But they like to gather together in packs. Wait, so do they do the whole alpha, loner, omega thing? Nah, apparently. Well, the Wolverine do. But that's their humanoid side wanting some more structure. Though they don't use those exact terms. They said normal wolf packs are just roaming family units. And the Wolverine try their best not to disturb that when they integrate into a pack. Well, if he's right about you, perhaps he's right about me as well. You still having the dreams? Yeah, becoming more and more vivid. I feel like it's just under the surface, but I'm worried as well. Me too, Samantha. Me too. It told me something. Apparently, William took a deep breath and lightly pulled her closer to him. I was part of a prophecy. They said the moon itself, or herself apparently, is waiting for me. Doesn't that sound crazy? Of course it does. Sure they weren't just trying to butter you up? Well, they were all scared. Not just an act. I've seen that fear before, back during the war. Something you can't hide all the way. Something you can't hide all the way. That nervous attention wanting to find an escape. It's something you suppress and work against. I saw it in the Ranger before, but I just wanted to believe it was a show. But the diner confirmed it wasn't. Okay, so, if they're being honest, that begs the next logical question. Why? Well, that got me thinking for a bit. What could I have ever possibly done to get the attention of something, well, that is above us, literally? I can only think of one moment, though, but I could be entirely wrong. Would you tell me of it? Samantha asked as she leaned her head more firmly against his chest and lightly stroked at his stomach. William took a deep breath and closed his eyes before he began to speak. And we start into Chapter 16, Broken Things. So this one's the one I've just started. Again, only very small, minor amount written. But Chapter 16, it's obvious where it's going, and hopefully you'll understand. Each breath he took gave only momentary relief. It was as if there was a void in his stomach, causing it to compress and refuse to expand. His hands were numb and his body shook with that innate tension that seemed to never abate. All around him were dozens of other men who were feeling the same, standing strong against the rocking of the ship. Outside he could hear the thundering claps of artillery, counter barrages that hit the waves, while the great roar of the naval guns continued to spew flame and spite into the sky. Again, that's all I have so far. But it's obvious where it's going, right? This is the naval landing operation that, for William's first naval landing. Ugh. So basically just a jump back to give the perspective that he had during it. Yeah, probably. The window's open now because it's actually nice and cool out. The humidity's not too bad. So I got the window open. Oh my goodness. And again, it's only like, what, 40 feet to the road? So maybe 50 feet? I don't know. Maybe I'll measure it one day. Anyways. Yeah, so that's what we have thus far. Meanwhile, let's do some stuff, because we're going to be talking about Vanderlin. So let's do some of the stuff I've written for Vanderlin. Right? So we'll start with Thorn Denderson, which his book is called The Cycle of Nature. The hunter clasped the bloody dagger to his chest, rising and falling in time with his panicked breaths. The wolf, now dead and laying across his legs, had done its cruel work. His left arm was torn open, blood running down it rapidly, lending a warmth to it while the rest of his body felt cold. Felt cool. All as the pure rush of adrenaline kept him awake and aware. Though his worries were also mounting as the sky was growing darker. Nothing had gone as planned in this hunt, nor, he had to admit, did his reaction to the changing circumstances instill him with confidence. He had drawn his dagger too slow. He had tried to knock another arrow too slow. He had realized the sweet berries had drawn in a starving wolf too slow. What kind of man was he truly? Arrogance of youth and pride now spilling down his arm and making his body numb. Even this he realized too slow as he tried to take his belt off, tossing aside anything that was hung to it and wrapping it about his left bicep and pulling it taut. Had he not felt such self-pity, perhaps he would have reacted to even this sooner, but he was just too slow. Though he pulled it tight and stemmed the flow of blood, he had already lost much, and his vision was starting to become blurred. He did not have the strength to roll the dead wolf from him, nor to even try and conceal himself. Lethargy began to overcome him, and in his hazy awareness he could sense something approaching. Footsteps, soft but still present as the thing lurked nearer. He wanted to Sorry, I'm getting all kinds of mucusy and stuff. My apologies, chat. He wanted to shock himself to attention, to raise up his dagger to defend himself, but his right arm did not stir, and he could only lazily roll his head to face the oncoming danger. The creature was standing upright, but was smaller than he expected. Was it the prey he originally sought? Or did by some miracle someone find him? His blurry recollection could not tell, and soon it did not matter as darkness overcame his eyes. Only the gentle lifting of his left arm sent sensations through his weary body. That was the last thing his mind held on to as he slipped into the darkness completely and went limp. He was now at the hands and whims of fate itself. Chapter 1. The Briar and the Hunter. He awoke with gasping breaths, desperately clinging at the air and swinging his right arm around as if his hand still grasped his dagger as before. Yet there was no dagger, nor in fact did he seem to have any clothes upon his chest, nor hat on his head. Instead he had a soft fur blanket covering him, and found he was laying on a sewn-together roll of cloth. His curiosity made him lift the fur blanket for but a moment until his mind snapped back to the wound on his left arm, and all immediate attention was drawn to it. There along the side of his arm were burns to seal the puncture wounds from the wolf's fangs, and a stitched seam that had sealed the worst of the bleeding. He even touched at it a few times, noting how the sewn wound felt numb, but the rest of his arm gave back positive feedback in the form of aches and pain. It was a sign that he had regained blood flow and true feeling in it, even going so far as to stretch and contract his fingers to confirm their function. It was only now that his attention had relaxed and his body felt ease that he heard the soft humming coming from nearby. His new focus shifted and stared at the back of a creature standing at a table, gray hair down to its shoulders and a green robe concealing the rest. The only other defining feature was that it was short, which made him realize what it was. Yet before he could give voice to his thoughts, the thing turned. "Aye, ye awake nae, lad? Seems it be Dendor's will true." The dwarven man continued to turn towards the hunter. The ruined jacket, now mended, hung from his hands as he came closer and laid it atop the fur blanket. The dwarf's beard hung down to his belly, surprisingly well kempt, considering it was clear. This was a forest walker, one of Dendor's priests known as a Briar. The hunter stared down at his mended jacket, a new piece of leather stitched into the torn gap of the old. Though the work was by no means exceptional, it was a strong binding made of sinew that would easily hold to wear and tear. "You are one... mind my manners. Danke for your mending, Freund." "Aye, nae need to thank me. It gives me an excuse to practice for myself, after all." "Well, what should I call you, I am known as Johannes, and you are?" "Oh, well met, Johannes. Me name is Thorin Denderson. Nae actual relation besides spiritual and faith. Just a wee servant of Dendor himself." "Ja, I do not mean offense, Freund, but that much was clear upon seeing you. The robes and way you walk, Derwald, makes that clear." The dwarf gave out a hearty laugh as he stroked his beard and nodded his head. "Aye, that be true for sure. I also saw as that you were among the faithful, o' Dendor as well." The dwarf nodded towards the amulet that was still hanging from Johannes's neck, far more elaborate and made of metal. "Ja, this is true. Though I think it need not be said, but I will anyways. I do not take the same worship as yourself. I could not bear to live as humbly as you do." "What do you think about bestiality?" "What kind of a question is that?" "It's wrong. Of course it's wrong." Holy shit. His whole thing about fucking consent. Jesus. "Nae need to worry, sir. It not be an easy life, but it be mine, and I treasure it for that. Ye still hold some sway amongst the faith, as Dendor clearly willed ye to live." Johannes slowly began to don his mended jacket and looked down a moment at the amulet hanging from his neck. "Perhaps. Though I sometimes think I am not worthy of that. I seek a larger threat, and yet a single wolf near ended my life." I know, it's literally the fucking, It's literally the Peter Griffin thing. That show annoys me. It has some good moments like that. Like, who the hell just starts a conversation like that? I just sat down. Oh, what manner of beastie ye be after? And I think ye are being tae hard on yourself. Judging from the smell, ye were using berries or something sweet. 'Tis nae a surprise ye were caught unawares when that wolf came sniffing about. Poor thing clear lost its pack and was starved. Indeed, Vel, I feel like I'm out of my depth, Freund. To tell you the truth of it, I was wanting to prove myself a true hunter and bring down one of the werewolves. They have been stalking this countryside for a time, and their burgermeister has put out a call and bounty on them. Yet after that wolf, how can I take on something far more dangerous? The dwarf nodded his head and stroked through his beard a few times as he looked up towards the trees and thought. It was only at this time did Johannes realize they were still outside, up on a large rock outcropping. He turned his head to inspect the area and saw that there was a handcart down below filled with lidded buckets and various handmade tools. Aye, that be truthful. Dendor's chosen have been into area for a time. Clearly something big is afoot, and that be Dendor's will. Johannes' eyes narrowed and he turned his gaze back to the dwarf who continued to stroke his beard, now looked back at him. Dendor's chosen? And how long was I knocked out for? Oh, I'd say just a wee time. Maybe an hour, as tonight is still young. You recovered quick from me needlework and to power o' Dendor's miracles. As for the first question, aye, that be what the wolves on tae legs be. Tae art a blessing o' Dendor to carry out his will and remind mortals not to spurn nature. Defenders o' his realm and hunters o' his woods. Though some handle to change is better than others. They kill people, Freund. Aye, that they do. But such is the cycle of nature. I will die in time, as will ye, and then we will rejoin the soil and bring nae life. They kill everyone, Freund. They are monsters that devour and consume all. Nay, that be a misconception. I have walked to woods and forests for most of me life, and I have met the chosen many times, more than I can count. I'm still here, as you can see. Johannes looked exacerbated and stared in disbelief at the dwarf who began to settle down atop a rock. The look of stupefied and yet frustrated questioning more plainly across his face. You must be joking, Freund. There is no ways that... Nay, I dinna joke to ye. I have met... Man, it's hard to do Thorin's accent, right? Because it's so thick. Right. Nay, I dinna joke to ye. I have met them many times, tended to their wounds, reset their broken bones, stitched back an ear or a finger on some. They moved to an area that has earned Dendor's ire in some way. So what have the locals been up to in the woods? So you help those monsters? I help any I come across. Thought there'd be rules to that. I also didn't call them monsters. They are the chosen after all. Let us use ye as an example. If ye were to fight the chosen, I would nae interfere on either side's behalf. It be a battle for Dendor's will, nae for me to decide who is most deserving. If ye kill the chosen, then by Dendor's will its time to rejoin the soil, and its hunt is ended. If it kills ye, then it was your time. Whoever is left standing by Dendor's will, it be me task to tend to their wounds and ails. I don't understand. How can you have such faith in Dendor's will? What if you were the one being attacked? Would you not defend yourself? Against Dendor's chosen? Nay. That be up to Dendor and them if it be my fate. Against a man, kin, tieflin, beastie or the like? Sure. To struggle for survival is part of the cycle of nature. Dendor nae mind if I take a tree or branch to keep me warm or to make shelter. I am partaking in the cycle. I didn't take more than I need to live, and I offer everything back to Dendor. For when me time comes, though I do try to pick only from those trees already dead or fallen, It sometimes needs must. What Dendor hates is the exploitation of nature, to abuse of it. Nay, just taking what ye need, but far more than that. Cutting down entire stands of trees, burning out the underbrush and causing forest fires. When such time comes, the chosen are selected and sent out to begin their hunt as divine retribution. Surely you can agree that a man's life is of more value than a tree. Aye, and thus Dendor made it. Aye, and thus Dendor make it so trees can nae defend himself, and men can. As I said, he nae mind if ye take a tree or two to survive, to make ye shelter and live amongst his forests. We all come from nature and rely on nature. To soil suns, fields, or nature. To beasties ye hunt or nature. Johannes turned his head, lightly stroking at his chin some in thought as he tried to ruminate on the dwarf's words. There was obvious truth in what he said, but he was unsure if he could accept the idea of the giant and deadly wolfman as being chosen. While he was lost in thought, the Briar stood from the rock and wandered back over to the table he had been standing at, and opened his strapped sack. After fidgeting for a time, he returned with a wrapped bundle and settled back down onto the rock. What is that? Just some dried berries. Take heap better for traveling. You can have some if you want. Johannes was still trying to think through everything the dwarf had said, but the rumble in his stomach had made the final decision for him, and a curt nod was given. Thorn then took a handful of raisins and offered them over to the man, who carefully tested a couple before he downed a handful. It's fine. The cheesy accents are part of it. A lot of the people in Vanderlin come from Germanic countries. Germanic just being the generic term. Like they come from Grenzelhof, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So like a lot of the W's become V's. So like Wolf instead of Wolf, right? You never did say what the locals had done to the forest. Do you know? The man frowned and looked at the dwarf. Apparently the locals were... Try that again. Apparently the locals were being attacked at night by them Grunblighters. So, to protect their village, the Altesten, the elders, had them set fire to the woods nearby to burn back the tree line and keep them safer. Ah, to sate their fears of the night, and them green gobbles, they spurned Dendor and got to hunt John to him. So it was one of the things I gave earlier. As the dwarf spoke, there was a rustling from a nearby tree, and Johannes' focus snapped to it. What was that, friend? Freund? Yeah. Oh, you may be the only one I fixed up tonight. Johannes' face could not hide the panic he felt as he desperately started to grab around and search for his things. Then he noticed the dwarf nodding above the man's head, which made him look up from his resting position and see the satchel and gear there. Aye, t'all be there, even the silver dagger of yours. T'all, as I said, if you go down this route, I cannot interfere. Thorin slowly rose from the seated position and wandered back towards the table, just as a large figure came down from a nearby tree and landed onto the rock, crouching low and on all fours. Johannes froze up in fear, drawing the silver dagger from its sheath and holding it extended out towards the beast. The wolf-like head leaned closer before the hulking form stood up, easily a head or more taller than Johannes, muscles rippling, even noticeable with all the fur as it stepped closer, ignoring the briar that was right next to it. Johannes began to whimper and held the dagger out, as if the mere existence of it could ward off danger, yet the wolfman stepped closer and began to growl. The wolf's ears folded back, a sign it was planning to attack and wanted to protect its ears, all with its teeth bared in the pale light of the moon and crackling fire. Please, Dendor, please! Those words came out between desperate audible sobs, and were the last sensible thing to come from the hunter's mouth. As Werewolf leapt forward and Johannes clumsily stabbed forward with the dagger, the blood-curdling scream of anguish escaped the man's mouth. It was not a confrontation that lasted long. and soon the man was writhing on the ground, holding at his shoulder that had been bitten hard. The dagger had fallen from his desperate grasp, and his eyes were fixated on the wolf looming above him. Said werewolf brushed at the side of his snout, where the silvered blade had sliced through part of his lip, tore a gash along the side of his head, and cut deep wound that split his left ear. It had been a lucky stab, but still painful as the silver crackled and annoyed the wolf. Johannes tried to raise up his right hand to defend himself further, but the wolf simply balled his hand into a fist and delivered a strong blow straight to the man's face. The blow knocked him out in an instant, as his head rebounded off the rock, and in turn, why do I keep saying and in turn? It just says in turn. Off the rock in turn, and he was now quiet and rocking idly on the rock face. Lots of rock in that sentence. The wolf then turned to look at the dwarf, who bowed his head in acknowledgement before the creature spoke. He will turn. God, I couldn't do that. I had too much mucus. All right. Mucus, be gone. He will turn. The beast's voice was deep and gruff, almost sounding as if one were to grind gravel against itself. Aye, I could tell. You could see it in the veins, how they pulse and bulge. Dendor heard him, and he'll be joining you pack. Thorin then raised his head and furrowed his brow as he looked at the wolf's face and stepped forward. You gone and hurt yourself again. I'm glad the leg seems fine. Wolf nodded its head and looked down at the leg, even extending it out a little. The bone is set properly. You did fine work, Briar. I cannot take all the credit. You know Dendor gifted ye all with healing. I just made sure it healed back proper. If that slash be from silver, nae gonna heal back right when your body be done purging the silver from itself. Thorin then sighed and slowly withdrew a small pouch from the rope belt around his waist. All right, kneel Dane. Then I can stitch it up so it'll heal back proper. The werewolf grumbled some, a small guttural growl escaping as it knelt and lowered its head, clearly not wanting to be subject to more pain. Nay, don't you gimme that fussin'. You've seen to others in your pack that have suffered such wounds, and ye know I'm right. Another grumble came from the wolf, but its eyes closed as Thorin withdrew the thorn needle from the pouch and slowly stepped over to the campfire and singed the tip. He then stepped up to the wolf that had lowered over Johannes, and thus made Thorin look like a child. That had towered over Johannes, and thus made Thorin look like a child. He then carefully took the piece of split lip and worked the needle through, before attaching it back to the rest of the mouth. The next wound was to deal with the gash just under the left eye and running up towards the ear. Briar, I have a question for you. Thorin slowed his stitching and looked to the wolf, who had opened his left eye to look directly at him. The dwarf didn't say anything but nodded his head before he continued to carefully sew the silvered gash back together. Do you ever feel left out from all this? In my head, I could feel that sensation with the hunter. Bite him, turn him, bite him, turn him. Yet I don't feel that with you. There's just a calming sense. Thorin let out a sigh and lowered his head. I dinna want to be known as a liar. Sometimes I do wonder why Dendor has nae chosen me. I know he has reasons, and it's not me place to question them, but I sometimes wonder why. Especially as I get older and I can feel that my body is rounded to bend. I'll begin to slow, then, more and struggle more. I see ye all, to all power of ye and to speed of ye. In me dreams I sometimes feel like one of ye running through the trees, leaping across the rocks, feeling the power and strength in me legs. Dendor has already gifted me much. I didn't want to complain, but that be the way of mortals, seeing something that looks appealing and wanting it. The wolf didn't speak, though its right ear did flick when the howling in the distance began. It then turned its left eye to look at Thorin, who was now starting to reattach the split ear together. I have been one of these chosen, as you say, for longer than I can rightly remember. So long ago I can barely remember what life was like before. I only remember that I was a blacksmith, and I remember the pains of those first years of change. Had I met you earlier, I would have told you this gift was a cursed thing, would have likely taken Dendor's name in vain outrage. Yet now, I can't imagine being anything else. I feel lesser when the light comes across the sky than when I am free to be this. It is as if I have to pretend to be something I am not until the cool air of night frees me once more. This is in lore because Estrada is enforcing her will, which forces Dendor's chosen back into human shape, or human, elf, dwarf, whatever they were, right? Forces them back into their humanoid shape, but when Nock rises, aka the moon, in Vanderlin setting, the moon is all about truth and knowledge and secrets and things like that. So, uncovering secrets, mind you. So, it reveals them for who they truly are, right? That's why werewolves turn into werewolves at night on these servers. Aye, you not be the first to told me of the gruesome pains when changing. I have asked what it be like before, nor are ye the first to tell me that pain goes away. I think it makes sense. Ye are mortal at first, and your body cannot handle the gift proper. As ye age with the gift, it becomes easier. Your body knows what to do, and so the pain is nae gone. The howls came again, and Thorn took a deep breath, easily audible given he was standing near the wolf's ear, placing the last few stitches through it. To hunt is tonight, isn't it? Nay, to normal hunts, but to one to teach that village the wrath of nature. The werewolf didn't speak, but instead nodded his head slowly as not to disturb the stitching process overly much. That big one will be there too, aye? Who do you mean? The herald? Thorin tensed up when he heard the word and took a deep breath. Aye, that be who I mean. So he be here indeed. Yes, he'll be leading the attack. Though I don't know what purpose he has not said, but it is clear Dendor's wrath has come. Thorin nodded his head, more so in confirmation for himself than anything else, and looked to the wolf. Well, here I'll stitch back up. I suppose it be time for me to travel onwards. Are you not going to rest? Thorin shook his head this time, and the grunting and growling coming from Johannes made him cast a sidelong look towards the injured hunter. The bite mark had long since closed up, and he was starting to writhe on the ground, pulling at his clothes and ripping some of it away. Nay, if the herald himself be here, then it be a sign of Dendor's will. I will head to the edge of the forest and watch that village. I doubt I'll need to aid ye all if the herald is around. Instead, I'll offer ye good luck, and may Dendor's blessing go with ye. Thorin extended his hand out towards the werewolf, who looked down at it for a moment, then carefully wrapped his clawed hand around it for a shake. You as well, Briar. I'm sure he has his reasons for everything. I'm sure as well your time will come someday. Thank ye kind. With one last shake, Thorin turned to the table and returned the dried berries to his pack. Before he slipped it onto his back... Oh, it was a bot, that's why. I saw a message from Twitch, but it was a bot, so it got purged. Dried berries to his pack before he slipped it onto his back. He then walked over to the rolled-out cloth bed where Johannes had been resting before and rolled it back up. As he did so, the wolf beside him took in a deep breath and began to howl, the tone shifting and changing as it went on, causing the pitch and cadence to change. After he finished, he looked back to Thorin, gave a curt nod of his head, and then leapt from the rock face down into the forest below, where his heavy footfalls could be heard disappearing into the distance. Thorin carefully stowed the rolled bed on top of his makeshift backpack, wrapping a woven hemp rope about it and draping the fur blanket over his body. He then began to wander towards the makeshift table and prepared it for moving. At the same time, the cries of pain and anguish got louder from Johannes, who was now digging at his exposed chest, pulling out chunks of skin, which left tufts of fur peek through. The sounds of crackling bone... Crackling? Should just be cracking. Whoops. Ooh. That's why I'm glad I do these previews sometimes. The sounds of cracking bones also made Thorn shiver some, but he went about his task of lifting the makeshift table up and carefully working his way down the rock face towards the cart. Slowly and with long practiced care, he set the table down onto his handcart, letting it cover the contents beneath. As he reached up to the lone pole sticking up from the cart to retrieve the ropes, he heard Johannes scream out once more. Yet it was no longer the cries of a man, and instead the anguished howls of a wolf pup newly born. Thorn gave a bow of his head towards the sound before he stepped under the rope, let it press against his chest. The rickety handcart bounced and protesting behind him as he began his new journey. There you go. So there's the first chapter for Thorin Denderson. Again, it's already up to that one's up to 61 pages, and that one will be continuing and finishing because there's only a few chapters left to go because it's a short book, right? Short story. But again, that's part of the skewed view that they have on the world, right? The skewed view of Dendor and everything, since Dendor is very much about nature and everything. And his bane, or his ban, is the exploitation of nature. But you can absolutely like cut down a tree or two. Like, if you're building yourself a shelter, he doesn't mind. It's when you overtake, when you overindulge. That's why he hates cities so much. He views cities as a sin, like an anathema to him. Which is why werewolves are an antag. Because they are to destroy the city. That's their goal. So, Vanderlin, unfortunately, has been marked by Dendor as a place that needs to be wiped off the map. God, it reminds me of that one round I was playing. So I was playing one of my other characters. I was playing Cadric, right? Cadric, Iron Oath. I didn't, unfortunately, get my favorite role for Cadric, which is the Dwarven Thunderer. Or the Dwarven Hammerer, excuse me. I think it's Hammerer. Yeah, Thunderer is the gun. Yeah. Mother Nature is a bitch. Well, this one's Father Nature. This one's Father Nature, and he's angry. He's very angry. Right. So, what was funny was someone was trying to petition to have it changed to make Dendor a female because Mother Nature, and Ook pinged me on the Discord and was like, "How does it feel knowing that somebody wants to change it to female after all your hard work?" And I was like, But almost everybody on the server was like, no, just fucking no. It's Father Dendor. It's Father Dendor. It'll stay Father Dendor. And I was like, all right, good job, server. No, I don't think I will. Yeah. Again, like I said, well, hopefully they'll like this a lot. And this will be what they go for. Somehow even less nurturing. Well, again, the werewolves are his chosen. And the way I liken it is that... the way I liken it, Liken, is that... God damn it. Oh, my brain noticing a pun. Oh, no. It noticed a pun. Fuck. You don't even need to do likening. It just liken. Just do liken. That's what I said. But yeah, again, he picks wolves because they're the pack hunters, right? They are an apex predator species, and they are what most medieval societies viewed as the dangerous thing, because, well, people are dumb and they'll do dumb things. Because wolves aren't stupid. Well, again, we're not talking like in extreme intelligence, right? But they're not stupid. They don't want to fight something that can fight back properly. Because they don't want to get hurt, right? So you have to do something incredibly stupid to get a wolf to attack you. And again, it might not seem stupid from the person's point of view, but don't like growl at the wolf or anything like that, or like try to display dominance or anything like that. Leave it the fuck alone. Just leave it the fuck alone. Sure, if it's hungry, if it's starving, it might try, but for the most part, it doesn't want to get hurt either. Injuries suck. Like, just because the wolf doesn't mean it, like, was like, I could take a couple licks. It's like, no. It doesn't want to be injured either. Injuries are bad. Alright, anyways, chat. So the main thing we're going to do today is mapping. So this is the small pop map. This is the small pop map for the Apoc server. It's being filled in by multiple people. Multiple people are doing like each section. This is our section. Our section of the city. Right? So I've got to fit a barn and a cairn in here. Fortunately, the cairn can be underground. Totally fine to do the cairn underground. Totally fine. Modern wolf fear comes from the Little Ice Age. Wolves would literally wait outside people's homes for them to come out. Ooh. But we need a cover. Okay, we need a cover operation. So the planned cover operation is that this is going to be a recovery unit for the main sanctuary. This is basically where they will pull they'll pull wolves that either get sick or have gotten injured or stuff like that, and they need to take care of them. So they'll bring them over here to the recovery unit. So with that in mind, it means one of the first things we need is I'm going to do like some kind of tile. Did they change it to industrial? Because they've been changing the tile sets, right? Industrial. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I need 2x2 for a kennel. Right? Doesn't need to be massive. 2x2. And then I'm going to put another 2x2 next to it. So we're going to have a 4x2, which will be pure kennel. Just 2 kennels. We don't need more than that. We just need enough to show that, okay, they're here to house a couple wolves, right? We're going to have a yard. We're going to have a yard beside it. So like a yard for when they're recovering so they can go outside and run around and everything. And before they get transferred back to the actual sanctuary. But it's here so that they can be taken care of and everything like that. So, what we want to do is we need to remember we're going to have a wall out. So, I think like coming in here, this will be where the wall is, and we do like this as our thing, right? So you can see how much room that's already taken up. That's why we got to keep things compact. You got to keep things tight. Toit, like a toiga. Right. We've got the new wood stuff. So I want to use wood to make it less like sterile. We have the kennel not made of wood because they want it to be easier cleaning, right? And even though wolves don't use their claws for much, it'll still dig up wooden floors and stuff. So they use the tiles in the kennels themselves. Oh, wait, I might need to extend this out. I need to extend the kennel out by 1. I just realized. Oh, hang on. Extend the kennel out by 1. The reason why is because I forgot I need a divider. Divider wall between. Okay. Again, like I said, just trying to keep things tight and concise. So this area here, which we can just do it like this, a little notch out. We'll have a surgery table here, which again is just supposed to emphasize, like, if they need to reset broken bones or, you know, like, do some veterinary work. So we'll have a surgery table here. I'm not going to put a computer or anything next to it because, again, the point isn't that this is supposed to be like a super surgery thing. Maybe I should put a computer. I'll put a computer there at first, and if they decide, like, no, that's too much and get rid of it, they get rid of it, right? That's fine. Entirely fine. So if you can imagine, we'll do like this. We have the back wall. We'll have the divider here in between. And so this will be a kennel. Oh man, it's got to extend out more. I just realized. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Hold on, let's check fence. If I can get this to work properly. If all the corners are that way. Sad. Sad, 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 sad. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Alright. The vamp fence isn't going to work. We'll have to do the normal fences. Which haven't been generated with their other facing. Great. New. I'm just gonna do that. I know they don't like var edits, but there. That way I generate off of that. We don't fuck with anything else, right? Okay. I could pull down 1, because we're going to use these fences as the barrier instead. So we could pull down 1 on this. Because the mobs can still walk right here, right? They still walk up against the fence. Okay, these are dead in the center. Tragedy. Tragic. Okay. Let us turn it. We're going to turn it 90 degrees. Turn this entire idea on 90 degrees. Just so we can keep this. We'll come from down this angle instead. So, take this. Clean you up. Clean you up. Right. Okay, mark that's where the outer wall will be. Again, just to give a little bit of play in. Yeah, so mark the outer wall. Here and here will be where our kennels will be. Not Hollywood. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll continue it out anyways. Which Close the door. Again, we're not worried about making things look really pretty yet. We'll start making things look pretty when we actually start doing, like, a bunch of stuff. Oh, this one would require the other one because it's going to be centered. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's an easy fix. We'll have the one kennel door here and the other kennel door here. So opposite corners, bring them in to the middle. I need to do that overlap like that because of the thing. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Right. And then we do the opposite side as well. Back to the fence. Okay. Right, there's our two kennels. I'm going to put a buqueto. Bucket. Bucket. Dog bed. Right? Again, it's just, this is very utilitarian. We don't have a lot of space. We just need to get this in here as, like, you know, this is obvious things they would have, right? Okay. Again, gotta keep things tight. I need a small yard. We'll have a start of like a rock network here. So let's kind of fill in maybe like, you know, that to get to the underground section. And draw it down. One more this way. One more this way. Okay. Because we want a two tile wide gap here. That will be the one cabin we have above ground. Again, because we need to set up a barn, right? And again, we have not a lot of space to work with. Not a lot of space to work with at all. So I'll maybe have this start as a cave network. Maybe we'll bring it like in. Bulge out a bit. Come back in. And go this way some more. We can have the entryway be over here. Fill this in as a cave. That will go down underground into the actual cairn itself. And all this is just rough in, right? We're just roughing stuff in. Maybe I want to move this up here instead. We can have the yard over here. And we'll do fencing and stuff like that. For the yard for the wolves to be in. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part. Hold on a second. Look at that. See? This is me. I programmed this in. So these are all properly separated out like they're supposed to. They have their proper animations and everything for them. Let's put the red wolf because it looks really cool. Boop. Red wolf. We'll say the one red wolf is inside because he's sick. So they're taking care of the whooper. Taking care of the little whoopee. And then maybe we'll have like a... let's do a white wolf outside in the yard somewhere, right? So white wolf would be out roaming the yard. I'm going to move the cabin. We're going to flip it and we're going to move the cabin up here. Actually, I don't even need to flip it. Hold on. We can just do this. Yum. Okay, maybe like that. We'll have a yard over this way. So we got the surgery table will be in here with them. So let's do... I'll put this aside so we can get that easier. Maybe under table, won't you? Or maybe it was surgical. It might be surgical table. Nope, it's op table. Damn. Damn. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Put it there. Now we need a proper table. So we're going to do just a wood table. One end. Grab you, move you. Boop. What do they call the operating computer? What do they call in the code? Is the hospital in yet? Oh. That must be the vet, I'm assuming. That's a good tile set for that, actually. Huh. I like it. Yeah, that might be a good set to use. Oh, it is computer operating. Okay. Right. It's not going to auto-orient, is it? No. Okay. Oh. Good job, me. Right. Okay. We'll see if they're okay with that. If they're not, that's totally fine. If they don't want to have that be a thing, that is okay. Okay. I'm going to pull this, because it actually does look real nice. We'll put it under. And I'll use the same trick that they used here, which is these lovely borders. Lovely. Very lovely. Yes. Yes, okay. How lovely. Yeah, so again, just to make it a little more interesting, bits of wood, stuff like that. Let's do... What do you call it? Is it still named wrong? It is indeed. It's still named wrong. Those are for sidewalk, though. What do you call yourselves? Plating or siding? Okay. Siding. Right. We'll do this here. Okay. Again, just so when the door is open, that'll be more obvious, right? In fact, we'll have this one. Where it's already opened. There we go. Okay. Nice, nice. Nice and nice. So we're basically just roughing everything in. And again, we can pick up this chunk and move it where we need it. This is all just pure rough-in work. So we need a front desk, right? Someone that'll be here to answer questions or anything like that, have paperwork and check-in and stuff. So what we might do is I might take this and move this over. And we'll do it over here. And we'll have the yard we can fence in around. I might actually like bulge this out and, you know, make it look a little more rough so it's not so, you know. Basically we'll just do stuff like this, right? For part of the beauty pass. Just to rough things up a bit. Make it look a little less uniform. Okay. What I wanted to do is I wanted to do a little parking lot here, like just a little one of those ones where you can see people pull in at an angle, right? But first, let's get all of the buildings we need in, and then we'll work with that, right? We'll obviously need a bathroom in here. Bathroom, desk, front desk needed. For paperwork and for the computer system, that'll be there. I wish I could just make a sign and just be like quarantine. And I'll just put it on the thing here. Quarantine. Like, it's a poor sick whooper. And that could be maybe a thing that could be taken care of in round, right? Like, you can have people, if they want RP, like, taking care of the sick whoop. Sick whoopee. We need a janitorial closet. Some firefighting stuff. So I probably will replace the wood walls with concrete work, right? Oh no, these are wolfkin. These are absolutely wolfkin, right? But if another one of the wolves gets hurt, they can be brought in here, and obviously, and then there'll be an actual player wolf, right? But they can be brought in and taken care of, put up on the table, and like given surgery and stuff. Yeah, so we will be replacing this with wood. Again, this is just for me to outline stuff. So we need... This is going to be moved over entirely. You, whee! Going on a little journey. Going on a little journey there, bub. Whee! Move this, like, here. And we'll let this extend out into the yard. So we'll have, like, a little pond out here and everything for the whoopies. A little pond if they want to get some extra water or things like that. So we'll say up to here. This will be the door that goes out into the first part of the yard. Do I need to rename it as anything else? We could just literally keep it the way it is, right? That there. Take you there. Again, this is a safety fence for the public, the public. So, if you've ever seen a wolf sanctuary, they have the multi-layer fences, right? Because they want the public to be able to come, and so they can educate them on, like, wolves and what wolves actually are and everything. Like, you know, get rid of that fear. But they need to obviously keep them public from being able to, like, reach in and try to grab them and pet them and things like that. Though you can have wolf jump scares. Hold on a second. See, do I still have that video? Wolf jump scare. Okay. And a wolf that eats eggs. Yeah, because we found Atka. So Atka is one of the elders of the Amberglade. And I found a wolf that's a white wolf. It doesn't have blue eyes. Atka has blue eyes, but it's a white wolf named Atka at a wolf sanctuary. Atka? Holy fuck! Yeah, I want to find the wolf jump scare. Where? No, where is it? Oh my god. Yep, nope, that's wild. Okay. It's not here. Where is it? Who sent it to me? I want to find it. I want to find it. The whoop. Searching. Searching. That's gonna drive me nuts. Searching. Oh yeah, I found Cross in the wild. I'll take that. Hold on. Look at this chat. Oh. No. Mute site. Unmute tab. Thank you. The thing I love about Brave browser. Holy shit. I want to take these sounds. I want to take these sounds and use them in Vanderlin. Whoop noises. The whoops. Alright. Yeah. Man, I can't find it. There's a weird video. It's just a fun video where a oh, you can hear the woofer but not see the woofer. You heard the whoopers. Okay, I'll pull the whooper back up. I'll pull the whooper back up so you can see the whooper at the same time. Here we go. So you can see the whooper. The whoop that's whooping. Okay, this is what William Lowell's fur pattern looks like. And like I said, I want to take this and make these the noises in Vanderlin. For like the wolf speech and stuff. Starts whining. Doesn't elaborate. Stares. Oh, by the way, Wolvarin is Wulvarin. Wolvarin. Yeah. So, I've started laying out more mechanics-wise, by the way, for what the Curse of Cortisoth will be, and laid out mechanics for stuff for the NDA. So, I want people to be able to play. They can play the Wolvarin, obviously, they can play any of the shifters. They can play the vampires, and I have their rules and stuff laid out there, especially the Curse of Cortisoth. One of the things I wanted to add for the Curse of Cortisoth was that Cortisoth didn't want them to form like bonds with each other. So he basically curse afflicted them so that they will feel paranoia when they're anywhere near another vampire, right? When a noble vampire gets near another noble vampire, there's extreme paranoia between the two of them, and they feel like they're going to be killed by the other one, so it drives them to try to kill each other. Because he didn't want them to have bonds. Them being able to make more vampires was an unexpected methodology. And one of those, like, fuck, they found a loophole. In that, what they do is they take the World of Darkness route, right? Where a vampire noble can drain a normal humanoid and then refill their body with cursed blood instead from their own veins, and then that will make a new vampire commoner. And it was like, okay, fuck, I didn't expect that loophole. Fucking clever little shits. But he can't redo the curse, right? Curses are wounds on the multiverse. Once a curse has been laid, it's there forever. You can't undo it. You can't really modify it or anything. He'd have to put another curse out, like an updated patch. It'd have to be like Cortisoth's Curse 2.0. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I shot my shot, and I'm not gonna put another wound on everything. You know, it's there as the catch-all. And besides, you know, they're already gonna have the life's already gonna suck ass for them quite heavily. I also changed it to where there is the redemptive path that people can take. Not the nobles. The nobles are fucked. But vampire commoners can take a redemption path. Because what it is Cortisoth has their souls. The moment they become a vampire, their soul is immediately in Cortisoth's mouth. Right? He has his jaws around it. So if a commoner vampire repents, tries to go against it, they try to like make amends for their transgressions and everything, Cortisoth will, when their time comes, pull their soul from his mouth and let them join the divine realms properly. Vampire nobles are fucked, though. They are super fucked. Because again, he wants it to be the choice. And because vampire nobles can inflict their curse upon other people who might be unwilling, again, it's his safety net to make sure he doesn't punish somebody that doesn't deserve to be punished. The point of the curse was to punish those that try to do the ritual of immortality, right? Which is a big no-no. Don't try to chase immortality when Cortisoth exists. Alright, hang on, chat. My legs are screaming at me, so I'm going to lower the desk. We're going to go on a journey. A journey of discovery. I'm going up out of camera. Alright. I'm going to be out of camera shot. Hold on. I got to fix it. Pull this down. Pull this up. Pull this down. Hello there. Hi. Okay, good. Gotta have to get up to do it. Nice. Standing desks are great. Highly recommend standing desks. I'm very fortunate. I have a desk that I can stand at or lower as I need. So very much appreciate that. Yeah, no, here it's because the cast doesn't exist. Again, the Curse of Cortisoth is literally destroys the soul, right? Anyways, so I want players to be able to play the vampires. They can never play nobles. The reason why they can never play nobles is because the curse affliction, where nobles can't be in like groups with each other. They have extreme paranoia and they'll try to kill each other. Like, that would derail a campaign pretty fucking quick, right? So when two nobles are in line of sight of each other, that paranoia as the curse just kicks in. All right. Okay, back to the map. I couldn't find the wolf jump scare, but there's a video where someone is like, they're filming a wolf that's laying across a log and everything. The wolf looks majestic and stuff. And then another wolf who is off camera comes up and hops up to like sniff the camera. It's like, it's like, where'd you come from? Does the curse do the Kill Bill siren? I don't know what that is. I'll have to say no, though. It doesn't like... Yeah. It doesn't like sound and now the battle begins. Okay. Right. Okay. So. Yep. Again, this is just a sick whooper. So for the round, they can decide, do they want to do like anything where they take care of the wolf or things like that. It's like, that's totally up to them. It's up to the player. Okay. Wood. I need the borders here. Which hasn't generated any of the directions. If I do siding... Yeah, no, it's... and it hasn't generated any of the directions. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wonderful. Why would it? Why would it? Okay, so... New... Bon... Kennel. Kennel wood. Generate directions. There we go. Right. Cool. Hey, it already matches color-wise. I thought otherwise I was going to have to like take a screenshot, pull it into Paint, and like start trying to color match. But no, it does fine. Nah, it's not going to do anything like that. And again, there is a faction that are known as the Church of the Redemptions. They are a vampire group that is trying to seek redemption. They don't know, as part of the point, Cordysoft makes sure that nobody knows that he's offering redemption to begin with. So, a lot of vampires view the Church of the Redemptions as a very fatalistic. Like, okay, look, shit sucks. We're in a bad way. But you all being like, I want to die, but I want my soul to go to the afterlife. I want to die, but I want my soul to go to the afterlife. You know, not helping the situation. But as I put it, for players, all players will play commoner ones. Now, you can play commoners that have magic attunement or not. That's up to you. Magic attuned vampire commoners actually get treated better because the nobles view it as like, oh, I can finally talk, like, shop with somebody again, right? Like, oh my goodness, I can talk shop with someone again. And they're very, very fucking grateful for that. Okay, I'm going to have to change the wood doors, by the way. So we'll have to remember, the doors we put in the kennel will have to be changed. And I'm going to have to... They'll have a low lock difficulty, by the way. They can be locked. They'll have a low lock difficulty, and Ranger will be one of the things that can unlock the door. You know what? Hang on a second. Also, let's do this. It just looks weird not to have it, you know, encompassed like that. Looks weird. There we go. Now it does not. Now it looks fine and proper. Okay. Right, so as I said, I'm going to change this out of wood. We'll let the cabin stay wood. But I want to change this to some brickwork. This is the new strip club, by the way, and it does look a lot nicer. Again, a bunch of people are chipping away at this, taking sections and everything. I kind of want to take this brickwork because it looks very government, right? It's very, like, we threw this together on this budget, you know, lowest bidder. You're welcome. It's the building exists. What do you want? Your building exists. Don't be greedy. Yeah. I think that works with the wood floors as a contrast to it. Again, we'll need a front desk area. pull this up like this. Out here. I'm going to keep it like this. All our tax money went to this? Exactly. Exactly. That's the vibe we want, right? I think this is good enough right here to keep this going across. Right? And we'll have this be like a little parlor. They said they're adding new stuff. Hold on a second. They did. Oh, sweet. They did add the benches and things. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. I don't think anything's using this, so I'll generate directions off of it right now. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, cool. You're missing a direction here. Yeah, where's I covered wars and stuff, you know? Where is he? Okay. Again, do that, that. That, yeah. Yeah. Again, just a couple benches. It's just a little bit of a lobby thing. This is more like for, whatchamacallit. Thanks, Brain. Good job. For clerical stuff, right? Okay, so how do you have this done? Okay, you did a low wall with a table on top. It's not a bad idea. Is there a low wall of this? No. What's it? It's known as market. Okay, so let's do market. Market low. I'm going to pull it up a bit. Boom, boom, boom. This will be the front desk. Reception. Let's put a table here, just like they have here. Okay. Put a thing there. And again, I can literally just take this section and just go yoink and yoink it right up one, right? So it'll be fine. Okay, what if we want to make... Yeah, again, I'm just roughing all this in. We're not worrying about beauty or anything like that. Like, we're not going for pure aesthetics or anything. This is all just a pure rough in for now. Okay, how high do we want this to be? Yeah. So here, for clerical stuff here at the desk. And let's put a bathroom here at the entryway. Right, so we'll bring this down. I have a little bathroom right here at the entryway. Right? Yeah. And then we'll do double door entry. Double door entry. Again, I want this to be more blocky because, again, government building. I'm with the government, and I'm here to do as little as possible. Maybe we'll put like some janitorial stuff here outside, maybe? Or maybe like a rack here with some stuff on it. Maybe like some soap. Oh! You know what? You know what, chat? Hold on. Groomer services will have a thing. Hold on. There's no drain. Surely. So groomer services will have a little like thing to clean pets and stuff, and they'll have like a water table, right? Whoops. I'm gonna make this a bathroom. Is there anyone have any bathrooms already with some proper tiles? Don't tell me we did the funny thing. Oh no, there's bathrooms up here. I remember. Yeah, toilet. This is a new tile, by the way, for Apoc. They have the toilet tiles. Toileto. I'm gonna put a border on it. So a siding. Oops. Yeah, okay, cool. We'll have a door in here. What if we did, to make it give the illusion of things being a bit better? What if we did this for the waiting room? Pull it over by one there. Okay. Let's do a couple wood tables here. We'll put like a plant on here. Plants in the corner. You know, just stuff to make it feel a little more... plants random. Pew, pew. They're trying to be homey, right? They're trying. It's the vague government, like, oh, you know, we're. It's up to purpose, right? Okay. Let us pull. I'm going to take you. Should we do it here on one of the sides, maybe? Maybe like here. And then take this and wish that they generated all their fucking directions. By the way, the reason why they're allowing multiple group projects on this is because you can just do this, right? You can just come up here and go yoink, Control C, drop it into the map itself proper. right? So it's easy peasy like that for everything. Right. We do want windows here, so we'll get windows in eventually. I need to figure out where to put in the shower here, because you would clean off animals, and again, no soap or anything like that. We want soap to be used for cleaning this. Here's what we're going to do. Take you, yoink you up one. Take this, yoink it up one. Okay, now we can put a shower here and a shower here. Shower here, shower here. Take you. Ooh, no. No, 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 no. Okay, right. So we have to do this. Ugh. No, it does not work. Right, outside corner then. That's what we'll do, and then we'll take a thin plate corner and we'll fill them in. That's what it is. It is what it is. It's wide plating. And plating corner. Generate directions. Thank you. And okay. Right. So again, showers to wash the whoopers. We'll put a thing here in the middle. We'll have some racks here in the middle. I like it for the supply look, right? But it's a little too like grocery store-y, if that makes sense. Oh, it cuts into the wall quite heavily, doesn't it? Ugh. Bring it down one, like this. Okay. Let's put a normal rack behind it. Put some soap on it. Omega would be funny. But no, just soap on it. No, this is strong DMM. This is specifically for Beyond. Right. Yeah, because we're going to have filing cabinets, stuff like that. That's why I wanted to bring this out more. Yeah, light chair will be fine. Yep, it's an engine. All the way down at the bottom, right? Government work, for sure. Here's my question. Hang on a second. New. Directional. Okay. Nope, there's no directions on it. All right. All right, fine. You are useless to me. Goodbye. Oh, ooh. We're going to have to pixel shift it. Let's see if there's one that works better. Right, okay. Yeah, it's BYOND. Build your own network dreams. It's what Space Station 13 runs on. Okay. So that... What would they call... Was it just cabinet? Yes, okay. Wish there was a bigger set of cabinets, right? That's okay. I'm going to put a fire extinguisher here. Extra one in the bathroom. Oh yeah. Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, again, all the doors will have to be special. Besides the bathroom door, obviously. Thank goodness somebody did directionals for this. But they're missing the other direction we need. Why are you missing? Also, you're not pixel shifted properly. Hold on. New. We're gonna name this shower head. Shower head. Generate directions. Thank you. Now we will put you in, and we'll put you in. We have to pixel shift them. Yep. There's no way. Okay. Okay. Cool. Like that. That should work for those. Again, these aren't meant for actual showers or anything. Also, you wouldn't use soap on whoops, right? You don't want to use soap on whoops. I explained that already in Gardens of Nature. But this is for, obviously, cleaning up the kennel, right? So I'm going to make that clear. Let's do another buquito. Mapaquito. Buquito. Mapaquito. And then a moop. Up. You know what? We'll put a bucket here as well. A buquito. And then take this. Move to top. There we go. Actually, no. Take the bucket, move to top. Because it's clear there's soap underneath it. Yeah, yeah. Right. We'll do a sink here. Might be able to just, if we extend this out, right? So, get rid of you. Get rid of you. Okay, we'll put some sinks in here. I'm going to do the kitchen one specifically because of it. Generate directions. Cleaning purposes. Bone. I need the tape. What's it called? Here it is. Bone gel will work. I wanted the tape, but we'll do gel. Bone gel. Nitrile. Yep. Again. Because you want it to be less invasive. Right. Cool. Alright. I wish there was a drain decal. Right? I wish there was a drain. I feel like there is one somewhere, but obviously it's not called drain. I wish I knew what it was. Okay. Yeah, and then we're going to take this fence, carry it over. I think we can do it like this, right? And just give the hints of, like, a little bit more depth to it, right? So I can get rid of this. We can unrender it. Oh, or, better idea. Hold on. Density, 0. Whoops. Meant that there, but that's okay. I'll put that there. All right. Okay, let's try it. Great. Ooh. I mean, it's a bit extreme. Look at it. Huge. It's huge. It's huge! Oh, I got a dirty version, too. Gross. Alright, vent. No. Oh, what is this called? Hold on. Scrubber. Fuck. Pipe network stuff. The pipe stuff. Yeah, water would definitely go down that, but again, you'd hurt the poor whoopers. Right? You hurt the poor whoopies. Because this is to clean off the whoopies. Okay. And again, this even though it's a food rack, this is supposed to be like their supply things, right? Like obviously little treats and things like that. It's all sitting right here. Poor little whoopies. Poor little whoopies. And all government issue. So we got a little bit of a hidey spot here for them. So I'm going to do rock. Let us see some of our turfs we've got, shall we? Or is it stone? Rock and stone. It's stone, baby. Oh, I only have the one, though? Yeah, just a little hidey spot for some whoopies. Maybe one of the wolves, like, dragged their little bed in here. Water drain. All right, let's try water. Water! No. We are going to put a puddle here, though. Little puddle. Actually, hold on. What if we do... delete you. Delete you. Let's make this a little bit bigger, shall we? Yeah. There we go. This will be the entryway here. And they come in here where the whoopies are. Elusive drain continues to remain hidden from all. Exactly. Accursed thing. Oh, you know what? We'll put a little chew toy here. Hold on. Toy. A little chew toy. Like as if they got a hold of it, right? A little shark plushie. A little shark plushie. Obviously, I want to make it look like you can get in here. So, is anybody using proper dirt? Here, I need to see. Nobody's got dirt. Like we're gonna be the dirty. All right, understandable. Understandable. Have a nice day. So, this is the old vamp dirt. Actually, no, I think that's been replaced now. I think this is the new vamp dirt. Let me check something. Yeah, the vamp dirt's been replaced. Okay. Okay. Doing this a bit. Oh! Sorry, I wanted to see what that looked like. Because I don't want the cave to just be one rough floor texture, you know? I'm going to put some dirt in the cave as well. Dirt outside of it. There was another floor that I liked. And I can't remember what it was. But we used it as a cross-between thing. Vamp Dirt sounds like a mini-boss from a Borderlands game. It does, doesn't it? Oh my god. Shit. The sewage water. The poo-poo water. Shit. Ooh. This looks much nicer now. Hold on. Oh. Yes. Government fucking screams government. Hold on. Come in. Come in. Fantastic. Was there a cave one? Hold on. Yes, here we go. Hold on, hold on. This is what we did. This is what we did, right? To like blend and mix and move stuff around. Yeah. Cave like this. Perfect. Just to make it a little less uniform in an area, right? Yeah. Cool. It was a little less uniform. Give some visual interest to it. And then I think we could do the jungle dirt. Dark. Yeah. Little whoopie dins. Whoop dins! Okay, again, we'll worry about the beauty pass properly later. So then I need to come here. let's bring it off of this. Right. Kennel there. I'll do a fence here. I think we want to do this fence stuff, right? Because we have... I'll need to actually get it put in. We don't want the vamp gate, because the mechanics come with that. We want... it was a particular thing. Prison? Maybe? Yeah, here we go. Vamp door prison. This is what we want to use. I'll just show you on the map, right? So this is what we want to use. This will be the gateworks around the bawn, so that people know where the bawn is. They know what it looks like, what they have to protect. Okay, the containment fence. We'll have like a little park or something here, right? We'll have the bawn be inside. There we go. So we have a double here. Perfect. Delete you. Put you in. Okay. We'll have one door here that goes in. We'll have one door out here. Or maybe like out here. Right? So again, just thinking rough placement. Oh, damn it, I did the thing. So now we got... Oh, now we got 3! Ah! Okay, got it. I was spontaneously generating more doors. Gotta be careful with that. You gotta be very careful with that. Oh, shit. Okay. You're not the right one. You're not the right one. Alright, we'll have to pixel shift it. But that's fine. Pixel shifting's fine. Pixel shifting is A-okay. What does this look like, by the way? I wish it didn't have this top thing here, but no, it wouldn't separate out enough anyways. Shame. 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 It's okay. It's fine. Okay. So we come here. Yeah, so fence door there. Like a fence door there. Fill this in with like a little place for them. This is the bawn properly. This is the cover operation. You know what? I'm going to get rid of this. we'll extend this out so that people can like view it. Maybe I'll even do a little thing here. Hold on a second. Rope? Nope. What's it called? I know it's in one of these buildings. I'm pretty sure they've already put it in a building here somewhere. If not, it's on the other map, but that's fine. We used it before. Damn. Maybe border? Or barrier? Fence, isn't it? Rail. Yes, here we go. Railing. Okay. We have stuff for it, so do like this. Be like, all right, public. Again, couple barriers. Be like, please do not step over. Maybe we'll do like a warning sign here or something. Warn. I don't want like a secure area sign or anything. Just a generic warning sign will do, I guess. I mean, again, so the public can come up and they can see into the stuff. So that's why I want to do. Sorry, we're gonna take you, move you up, take you, move you up, and take one of you and move you up. There we go. So now we got our 3 blocks we're gonna use. You, come here. Beep, beep. I'm gonna just integrate it into another facet of this cave. That maybe have that as like a secret entryway, maybe? Basically, we'll have the wolf den also extends off of this. So we can make this a little bit fatter this way and have a little den in here for the wolves to hide in. Meanwhile, this will allow us to have the public view the wolves more. You know what I mean? I could, hold on, we could do this. Yoink. Yeah, then we can get rid of that. There we go. Neat. Had a rough first day in Vintage Story. Took me a while to find the flint I need. So much shale. Then I spent the whole day trying to find berries for the tutorial. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. Okay. Yeah, so here's our color palette stuff we're going to use. So let's grab you. I'm going to move you in here because this is obviously an area that's not going to get touched much. We'll have the cabin here. Which again is going to be a little cramped, but intentional, right? It's a cabin. It's a Cuban. A Cuban! There are new rugs that are being added. I don't know if they're added yet, though. Whoops. Yeah, it's just a little Cuban. A little Cuban. We'll do the same thing here, but I'm going to make it out of wood. So... wood wall low. We'll do it here to make sure it doesn't do the funkiness. Because there's some shit that can happen. Okay. Put that on top. Fridge. Fridge. Okay. Frigidator. Griddle. Hopefully it gets working at some point. That. Okay. We'll do a bid. Generic bood. A generic bood. Let's do completely random bed sheets. Completely random, just to have a little bit of fun. Curtains. Don't need to be fancy or anything. No. It looks nicer. I need to pixel shift it up, though. It looks good on these windows, but not on this window, right? So we'll pixel shift it up. Grab you. You, come here. New curtains. What was the offset? He gave me a specific offset for it. I'm trying to remember what it was. He said, this was like, this was 13 maybe? Ooh, that's too high. Okay, it's not 13. Maybe it was, what was it? What was it? Try 4.5. Huh? What? They look the exact same. So 13's way too high. Let's do 8. That's too high. 6. 4. 3. I'm gonna delete here in a second. 3's close. 2. I think 2 is better. Yeah, we're gonna do 2. Delete, 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 delete. Come in here. Get rid of you. Grab you. Move you over. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks better. I wonder, how does this look in these? I'm going to delete once. How's it look here? That looks a lot nicer. Yeah, okay. We're going to get rid of all of these. Put these curtains in instead. Okay, cool. I'd love to get a rug in here or something. I don't know if the new ones have been added. I know the carpeting was a big thing they were doing. That's not bad. That's not bad for placement either. Okay. Alright, so we're going to have to put a roof on. Everything, obviously. In fact, I might have it to where we'll layer this, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll work good. So, fill that in. Let's carve out our actual area real quick. Thinking like... like this, maybe? Then bring this back in, perhaps? So we can have that. Watering things up here. Pull the whoopee. Whoop. Yep, you have a good morning as well. Fuck. That'll keep the whoop's attention here, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoopie whoops. Whoop, whoops. Okay. Right. What if we... Pull just back out a bit. No, because the door here won't work. Do is we're going to take this, scoot it one. Beautiful. Yeah. There we go. We'll have the fence there. We'll have one here. Maybe just a little like recreation area or something here. Ew. I don't like that. I think we have to. Let me check something here. What layer are you on? 4.6. What layer are you on? 4.6. There we go. Much better. 4.7. Okay. Again, we'll get the proper doors in because, like I said, we have to make all of these doors in the programming. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So, like, we come here, right? It'd be over here, I think. Yeah. Go to definition. Let's see. Then it pops up this, and now we have to actually program in the door, right? Give it its lock IDs and everything, like what all can unlock it and what can't. Give lockpick difficulty settings, all that stuff. So I don't want the bonds to be that crazy. So we're going to put in vamp door. Maybe I'll do Amberglade as the generic. And then we'll do gate. Those will let them lock it. Yeah. Essentially, this is what we got to do, right? So, object, structure, vamp door, Amberglade. We'll do gate. Oh. Icon state equals prison 1. Base icon equals prison. Locked. Oops, I capitalized it. Locked. Equals true. Glass should be correct. There was a bug with one of them. I'll need to test it. But I'm pretty sure glass is the way to make it see-through. There was another thing you could do, but I can't remember what it's called. I'm pretty sure glass equals true. Allows see-through. Lock ID equals ranger, which will give the ranger keys here in a second. Lockpick difficulty equals 8. I want it to be a bit more challenging, but not crazy, right? Because we'll do a secure gate as well, and that'll be for like the armor and stuff like that. That lockpick difficulty would be higher. Actually, we'll keep it at 6 for balance with the prison. I think that'll work well. Then you want to put a thing in here, remove that. So now this file is now proper. Save. Okay. Right, so now when we reload this, we would get like, I'd be able to type in Amberglade here. Now, I already have all the Amberglade doors and everything set for the other stuff, but I don't want to go digging through the files and pulling out the Amberglade stuff, right? Yeah, so we'll have that. Then we can pixel shift it to where we need to for the purposes of, blending a little more seamlessly with this, right? And then, of course, we'll put in some dirt patches here, some grass. That's beauty pass stuff. Right, but I think this is good for what we need here. We've got our palette here ready to go. I'm going to put the wolf den. Do a little bit of a little whoopie den. Little whoop den. Like this. Maybe we'll have it just open air like this, right? kind of break things up a bit. Yeah. There's a little whoopie den that the wolves can run into if they want to be out of the way of everything. I'll put a little, like, couple ramps maybe that go up. So what we can do with that, I'll show you. What I did for ramps in the past. We do like this. Okay. Do the dirt decal. Along it. So dirt, and then we should have shadow? Yeah. Now, generate directions. You don't have an alternate direct... Oh. Not yet good. Because I would need this to be the other way. Good lord, you took it all the way up to 5? Good lord. Right. Shit. Shit. Right, okay. First, I need to put this stuff in, right? Okay, conceal. Watch. Okay. And just to make it a little more cave-like, right? A little more cave-like. And then this will lead down into the thing. Like I said, I wish I needed... Here, we'll do this. And this will lead down. Whoops. This needs to be open, right? Yeah, so those need to be open. So you can go down. So let's... Nailed them. Okay. Right. Again, I just need those as markers for now. We'll fix the proper stuff for it soon. Okay. And just we're breaking up floor patterns basically, so it doesn't look so generic. Stalag, right? Which I believe these randomly generate, I think. Okay. Just to give it a little bit of more visual stuff, I'm going to put some crates in here. You know, be like up out of the way, out of the way. No, that's too much in the way. We'll do this. They're all in one line. Put one like in here. It's funny. That's actually funny. You know, it is what it is, right? I guess I could do this, and then we could get rid of this crate. There we go, just so it doesn't look like it's all in one line. Funny. Funny, funny. Okay. I wish I could change what this looks like. You know? Yeah, because that already uses the icon state for stairs. We'll have to do a lot of open air stuff. A lot of open air stuff. Right? I'll have to think on this one. I don't want to mess with this yet. I want to change what this looks like. I wish we could get like a dirt path, right? But in the absence of that, you know, work with what you got. Work with what you got. Yep, that's fine. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So we'll have like the cairn be fully here. For the cairn, we're gonna need an armory. So we need an armory. The armory is gonna be small, so nothing exciting. It's gonna be 2 shotguns and a rifle. That's it. Weight equipment, like weightlifting equipment, inside the armory. Yeah. I think I can merge the Theurge area with the totem itself to save space. You're not supposed to do that. But for space saving, it's probably a good idea. We need a sleeping area. I need the Elders Council near the totem. Right? Oh, that reminds me. I got to do all the totem work too. But I'm just going to take from the stuff, so I'll show you. Totem. Right? I need to make a totem for each tribe. Every single one. This is the Glasswalker totem. Wah. Bonar. Children of Gaia. Again, they look the same, but their coloration is what's different, right? Light color. Where is it? Ah, here we go. Totem overlay color. See? And you have to get these names correct. These tribe names are important for links to the Umbra. Now, the reason I need to make all of the tribes is because they're all going to be here. They all need their Gnosis. Gnosis will be generated in the cairn itself, so that's going to be fucking important. Light sources are going to be important underground too. Lots of lanterns. Lots of lanterns are coming in. Anyways, we have that. Sorry, I started thinking about everything we're going to need. Like all the different tribes. Stargazers, Gita Fenris, Uktena. Yeah, it's going to be a thing. I think I'll put a little bit of a road in here. Just a small little thing where they can like drop off supplies and things like that. That would also be why the gate's here. I think that would be what we want to do, right? Just a little place to like, drop off some supplies and all that stuff. Maybe put a dumpster here. Because they have working dumpsters now, right? Yeah. Dumpster empty, dumpster full. Okay. Couple dumpsters. is where they'll be able to check all the supplies and all that stuff like that. Okay. I'll do all the dirt siding stuff here soon. So it should be fine. It should be fine. All of it should be fine. I said we've already got the first door programmed in. I guess I should start working on the other programmings. Right, what kind of door do we want? Thinking these glass doors would be good. Again, they're not going to be difficult. These aren't going to be difficult locks to pick. These will be more difficult. So these will be like a 5 on lock picking difficulty. Like, I don't know why you're breaking in, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, you know what? Let's move this computer over here. Yeah, so door all the way down. Right. Oh, opacity. That might be what it is. I think I need to add that to the Amber Glade thing. Real quick. That's fine. That's totally fine. We can do that. Glass. I'm going to add this additional line here. Take this. Amber Glade. Oh. Ooh, hang on a second. That's a hell of a lockpick difficulty. What the fuck? That's not the highest one I've seen, though. I think 32 was the highest one, which was a weird gas station door. There's just a gas station door that had, like, supreme lockpick difficulty for some reason. Ooh, Nightwolf is 12 and Pentax is 12? Yeah, I'm going to increase what Amberglade's door is. Alright. Amberglade locked equals true. Lock, oops. ID equals Ranger. Lockpick. Difficulty. Again, these are going to be like for the front doors. Amberglade front. Lockpick difficulty equals. We'll make that this 6, right? 8. Make it 8. Breaking into the kennel, right? Opacity equals true or false. We want to be able to see through it. Glass equals true. Oh, burnable should be fucking 0. I don't know why burnable would be true on it. What the fuck? What the fuck? False. It's a glass door. It's a glass and metal door. Why would it be? Why would you put that as true? All right. Yep. So fine. I'll save that. And again, when we reopen the map maker, we'll have all of that stuff in. So I got that. We're going to put it for this one and this one. We don't want here. Okay, we'll put it for this one here. And the entryway. And then for these, we'll have these be the opaque doors. So I need reinforced doors. Wait, what do the cam doors look like? Hold on. Hold on. Don't care about vault doors or anything. Simple doors would be fine. Right? Yeah. Yeah, for the cover? Yeah, that should be fine. Good definition. Oh. It's in the same one. Nice. It was literally in the same area. Okay, so these can dictate what we want to do. Simple as cam 1. Right. So we'll do vamp doors, amber glade. How do we have this set up? What if we take this and I swap these? Amber glade front, glass. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take this. Glass. I'm going to take this. Copy it. Come down here. Paste. Good. All right. Yeah. We'll see if they're okay with that. If not, again, that's an easy fix to go back the other way. And the reason I did this was because I want to do amber glade front. Amber glade front. Basic. Or how about simple? Whoop. I keep wanting to capitalize things way too much. Cam 1. Base icon equals cam. Locked equals true. Lock ID equals ranger. Why are those burnable? What? I'll keep the burnable thing here. I'm going to make it an 8. Burnable equals true. I don't want to separate this out too much. So let's do this. We'll do lockpick difficulty equals 8. Because this is going back into the surgery rooms, right? Like, why are you trying to get in the surgery room? Are you trying to steal medicines? Stuff like that. You know, ICly, right? Because there's no reason to go in the surgery room unless you want to get the duffel bag and things like that. All right. Then we need this here. Remove the space. Okay. Should just control S it from now on. Right. So that's the first one. What other Amberglade door do I need? Okay, let's take a thing a look at it. All right. So simple door, which we will var edit to name them properly. So, maybe surgery can call it or something like that, or like quarantine, something like that. Something. Maybe I'll add another couple whoops in here as well. The reason I wanted it to be a mound, by the way, is so that all of these can go up, right? Because I don't want the whoops to walk up and fall off and hurt themselves, and die, right? That would be too fucking tragic, to be too morbid. Okay, the surgery room doesn't need that. Again, we'll worry about lights and things like that later. We do need this stuff here. We've got those doors, got that door. I need a cabin door. Cabin door, that's what we need. So, yep, wood. Go definition. So we're going to take this. Come over with Amberglade front. Front wood. Locked equals true. Lock ID equals Ranger. Lockpick difficulty equals 8. Okay. Icon state wood 1. Yeah. I'll take this. There we go. All right. Or maybe I should name this cabin, so that it can be found easier. Cabin. Okay. Right. Back down to prison. Come down here, go to definition. Okay, that's properly separated as Amberglade. I'm going to put in another one of these. So I take this, put it in. Secure gate. Last true. Opacity equals false. Locked equals true. Opacity equals false. Locked equals true. Okay, the secure gate will be a 12 difficulty. This will be for the usage of the armory and things like that. Like, obvious things that need to be, like, no, this needs to be really fucking secure. Right? Same thing with the checkpoint for the entry into the cairn itself. That will be a secure lock. So, again, we'll have a gate here that will act as like the secure lock. Then I want to put glyph for the cairn. Right. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we've got all those. It all should be fine. We have the 2 gates. Everywhere on we got where the city can come in and get some stuff. Oop, wrong one. Oh shit, I did this double. I felt that. Felt it click twice. Okay. Let me see what you are. Okay. Oh. Almost. Okay. I need a border here for the grass. Right? Wood. How does dirt look? Yeah, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. We'll take it. If I did the flip on it, hold on. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. Yeah. Just looks a lot nicer. Okay. Okay. A nice border around. Again, this is mostly a place for the trash to come pick up stuff or them to deliver off supplies. For the little thing. Or to, if they have to, they'll bring in the sick whoopers. The whoopers that need to be quarantined away. Put a black whoopie here. And ginger whoopie here. Or a gray whoopie. Okay. We'll have more whoopies underground at the cairn itself. Okay. Alright, so we're going to have the gates in properly. Again, I'm probably going to have to pixel shift the one. But that's okay. Not too bad. And next time we'll have to start filling in the underground for us. Which I need to also put in. I'll need to put in all of the totems and everything. So that'll be that bit of fun work. Doing all those totems all over again. Yep. That's okay. It's okay. Ugh. I do want to do the little trick I did for the Stargazers totem on the old map, where it's going to look like it looks out into the stars and the expanses and everything. So yeah, we'll do that. For now, though, as we rough in the area, and it's just all roughing in for now. Oh, wait a minute. Get rid of one of these sinks. The hospital isn't in yet. I'm going to put the scrubs in a locker. Yeah. I'm going to take this locker, which is known as a closet, apparently. Closetto. And again, I'll fill in the roof and all that stuff, all those details later. Okay. That there. Put in a... We'll do green so it's obvious that they're not, you know, they're not with the, like, they can't, like, use this and walk into the fucking clinic, right? So, make it stand out just so they know. And what if you do mask? Surgical mask. Right. Right. What kind of shoes should we put? I think we should have some, like, clinical shoes. Maybe some just generic white shoes. For the thing downstairs, I'll show you. We're going to use this. There is a particular type of clothing item that we can use. I got added with WAD. I'm trying to remember what it is. Because I don't know if... security, bouncer. What was it? I might have to go check the other map and see. Maybe bouncer? Let's see. Clothing under MISC. Vampire, okay. MISC. Military fatigues, no. But you see, it's like this is how we know that they're for the vampire server, because they like are off at this angle. We're going to have the security clothing. Ah, here it is. Guard. Guard. That is what the Rangers are going to have for now. We're going to get rid of the like biker look. They should have guard looks. Right? They're not going to have the police gear because we want them to be distinct and different. This will be the placeholder for when we get the proper Ranger uniforms in. Cheese. Sometimes I dream of cheese. Yeah. So again, we wanted to make sure that they don't look like the police, because Rangers aren't police. They are a federal law enforcement branch, but their jurisdiction is very small. They are the national parks and everything. So I don't want them to be able to like have their uniform on and walk into the police station, right? That would be fucking terrible. So what I might do is I might take the file I made for the forest overhaul, grab all of that, because I already did all the job stuff like that, right? Grab all of that and move it in. Yeah, you'll see the police uniforms are black. See? Black uniforms. I don't want the Rangers to be confused with police officers. I want it to stand out. Hence why they're going to use the guard uniforms instead. Until we get the proper Ranger, the Ranger tans and greens. Yeah. That'll work. I'm just going to leave this here on the ground for me for the future. So we know what to work with. I need to put in some various supply stuff here. Nothing crazy, but lots of fruits and stuff like that. Fruits, veggies, meats. Yep, move this while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget. Move this over here. Should be paper bin. Or, yeah, bin. Hold on. Bin. Yeah, put that there too. Ooh, yeah, that's going to need pixel shifted. Hold on. Oh, thank God. Somebody already did it for me. Fantastic. Yeah, there we go. That's very nice. It's very nice indeed. We've got the front operation. We've got the barn, which includes the cave. But it's going to be properly fenced in, so all of our guardians and warders know exactly where the barn is on the low pop map. And then we will start building in the cairn underground. So yeah. That'll be real nice. I've already got the doors programmed in for the code. So next time we open up the map maker, we'll have the secure doors, the standard cell doors, the plain doors, the glass doors to be used, and then bathroom, you can just use whatever, right? So that's fine. Totally fine. Fairly decent progress for now. Hopefully, I don't know if I like the sidewalk thing. Maybe we'll get a different one, but it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see what they want to do with it. Yeah, so this was what's his name? I think he's literally the guy is his name in the Discord. The guy did the police precinct. Real quick, I'm working obviously on the Gowru stuff. Oh yeah, be pretty good. Right, chat. I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. I know it's not a normal days we have, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the book previews, both for Guardians of Nature and for Thorin Denderson's Cycles of Nature. I need to work more on the Thorin Denderson stuff. Obviously, I want to get that done. We need the design documents, as I said. Oh, hold on. Let me show. Again, for Vanderlin, we are going to do Briar Wolf. So Briar Wolf is going to replace the troll form. So that way troll form can be on its own totem if they want to do that or not. The Devouring Shrine will instead, because, again, you hunt a wolf, you take its head, you build the shrine with it, you then sacrifice 2 blood bags to it to then get wolf teeth. And then for some reason, troll form? Like, what? It just doesn't fit thematically. So we're getting rid of troll form off of the Devouring Shrine. It is going to be replaced by the Briar Wolf form, which will have the code if, Crown of Thorns, then use this this icon set. Otherwise, or else use this other icon set, and that'll be the same for the Briar Robe as well. Hence why this is kind of the thematic thing we're going for when it comes to the Briar set. Right, the Briar Wolf. But that's going to be a lot of sprite work. Because we need 8 sprites, 1 for each direction, north, south, east, west, for male and for female. Then we need 4 more for the head. Technically 8 more, now that I think about it, because one's without and one's with. And then we need 4 more for the robe set. And that'll be Dendor's Briars can take on for a limited time. They can take on the guise of the Chosen. So it should make them a pretty scary threat. I'm going to see, for balance purposes, if I can give them, like, master wrestling and things like that when they take on the guys. They don't get legendary. Only the Antag werewolves will actually get legendary. But I think, like, give them some stat boosts to their brawling capabilities, so they're punching and everything unarmed, wrestling, and I think all the skills that we need are unarmed, punching, wrestling, grappling, strength boost, endurance boost, and stamina boost. And then the uptime will be, which can all be adjusted, but I'm thinking 30-second uptime, 60-second cooldown. So, yeah. Again, a lot of work to do. Lots of work to do. But hopefully it should be hopefully a lot of good fun, right? Yeah. Remember, tomorrow for Saturday Showtime in the Discord, we will be watching Big Trouble in Little China. Fantastic movie. Genuinely fantastic movie. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I highly recommend it. In the meantime, take care. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe and healthy. Get fit, get ripped. And I'll see you back on Monday. Bye-bye for now, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.